Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Kiss up to God. To God be the glory for all the wonderful works that He does. Hi, YouTube. Nothing like sitting up here with my YouTube family on a Friday night. We're going to kiss up to God. We're going to give God the glory for all the wonderful works that He does. Thanking Him for those brand new grace and brand new mercies for allowing us to be here another day in the land of the living. Blessing our families, our friends. Thank you, God, for that. And if we had the opportunity to say, I'm sorry, Lord, please allow it because I'm sorry can restore and recover a whole lot of things. Oh, anybody like algebra? Are you good at math? I have this little, I explore. Like I said, I'm all over reading and trying to find more content or other things that other people are talking about or other people are dealing with too. So I came across this formula that someone was talking about called the CT times A equal M. And I thought that was very interesting. So I said, well, what is that? So it's constant thought multiplied by action equals manifestation. And I thought that was good. So I've been working on that for the last couple of days. Like constant thoughts multiplied by the actions of those thoughts equal manifestation. And we know manifestation is an event, action, or object that clearly shows or embodies something, especially a theory or abstract idea. It's a sign of alignment. And I talked about one of my videos talk about manifestation because see, we don't even realize our superpower. We don't even know our superpower. We got power in things and we don't get it yet. We still don't understand ourselves yet. We don't understand who we are. We don't understand why we do some of the things we do. We're just out there. Living one day at a time, just getting by, not trying to change nothing, not trying to get our thoughts. Well, I was kind of talking about me back in the day, but hey, some things change about that. So then we don't realize that we are a blessing. We really are. We have to forgive ourselves, though. I think that's one of our problems. We're still stuck in the past, or stuck in things that we've done, and we haven't forgiven ourselves yet. We haven't looked in that mirror and actually forgave ourselves for some of the stuff that we have done. And we really have to get to the level or get to the place in our life where we can look in the mirror and realize that we can't forgive ourselves. And forgiving ourselves for something that we did wrong. You know, and some things that we've done wrong, we did it sometimes maybe to get back at somebody, or sometimes we might have thought we was doing right and we ended up destroying something or somebody. But we really have to forgive ourselves, but we have to analyze what it is, break it down, figure out how and why. Figure out how we did it and why we did it. You know, that's it. Maybe that's what makes it hard to forgive, because sometimes when we break down that why and that how, we might not be pleased with ourselves. And after we figured that out, the trauma that linked us to that we have to break down the trauma, figure out who we are, figure out why we did it, and grow from it, and try not to do it again. Go into like, why did I do that? Why did I say those words? Why did I hurt that person? Break it down, analyze it. Try to figure out who you are. Try to figure out why you did it. Because if we could break down some of the stuff that we have done in our lifetime and try to figure out why we did it, maybe we can forgive ourselves for some of the stuff that we have done. And maybe that's where some of the trauma come in, because I think I had it. What we got to bring up with our toxic self. Some of the trauma we bring on ourselves too. We can't keep blaming everybody for things that happen in our life, especially if we've had signs to show us to go the other way, or especially if we know better. Like the red flags. I talked about the yellow and the green, but when you see things, I think we just feel like that we'll be the one that changes it, or we are the ones that's gonna make a difference or make it different. And then once we don't, and then that's when we get into that hurt stage or that trauma stage, or not forgiving ourselves because we saw that it wasn't gonna happen. We saw that if we weren't the one, or we didn't change things, or things stayed the same, or either things got worse. So, we don't know how to just leave it alone, like brush it off. It's the hardest thing in the world. It's the hardest thing in the world, especially when you can't go back and change it, or can't go back and make it better or make it different. But we do have to break it down. And some of the things that has happened in my life and in my family life and stuff, some of those things we really have to sit down and talk about, and bring it, like I always say, expose it, bring it into the light, because as long as it's down there, it's hard to forgive what's in the dark. You can't see it, or either you think you already have forgiven yourself and you got triggered because you really haven't forgiven yourself. And that trigger can happen at any time. Sometimes people will trigger you, and sometimes, well, people, places, and things, I'm sorry, can trigger you. And that's when you realize you haven't gotten over it or haven't dealt with it. And I was speaking to someone tonight, and he was saying, like my walk. And I said, I was triggered with something. So I don't think my walk is the way it can be, because I don't think I should be triggered. But that's part of it. That's part of the walk, because everybody we're not on the same level. So somebody might trigger you on a different level than you are, but we're gonna have to actually deal with it and realize that maybe they didn't mean it. Realize maybe we didn't mean it, because forgiveness is what's gonna move you on. Getting it out in the open and dealing with it is what's gonna move you on. As long as we'll stand back and stand in it and wallowing in it, and that self-pity, and that like I spoke before, we're our own worst enemies sometimes, especially if we don't forgive ourselves. How do we expect somebody else to forgive us? How do and forgiveness might not be for the person. Like I said, forgiveness is for you. You'll feel better sometimes if you do that. But I just wanted to come with that formula because I thought that was good, because we are always in constant thought. We're always thinking about something. Have you ever just sat down and wonder, like, why am I thinking about this? Are you put into action what you're thinking about, especially if it's something positive? If you're thinking negative, don't put that into action, because you could just going to manifest something you don't want. And the person also said, visualize what you want. That helps too. Manifestation is for visualizing also for the things that you want. Pray on it, write it down, look at it. Make sure that it's what you want. Just don't write down anything, and just don't, we sometimes we do some crazy stuff. But I'm so happy that I was able to come on with you, because Friday nights were usually like, okay, let's go. Where the party at? But it feels good to be able to. I have some nice chili on. It's about 25 degrees outside. I get to curl up on the couch, and I'm watching this series on the Emerald Tablet. Now, I like Cat Williams. He has a foul mouth, and he's a comedian, but that's an intelligent brother. And he was talking about the Emerald Tablet. And I started looking at some of the stuff, and it's very interesting. It's an interesting series. And of course, we're talking about the Pyramid of Gaza. We're talking about, Atlantis. So it's talking on those lines. If you don't like none of that stuff, then you wouldn't be interested. But I like to look at what other people are talking about, or what's out there, because it's billions and billions of people on this planet. Somebody, everybody got something going on. I'm just nosy. I just want to see what it is. But I'm gonna curl up there and I'm gonna watch a little bit about the Emerald Tablet. And if it's talking about Egypt, that's the motherland. I want to know what they're talking about. Okay, so guys, Thank you for joining me tonight. Go out there and make it count. If you're gonna go out, enjoy traveling mercy. Don't get crazy and enjoy life. Thank you for joining me. If you think anybody needs to hear about the formula CT multiplied by A equals M, please share it with them. Thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Jennifer Brooks. I am your Southern Belle, and I am on the right road now. You guys have a blessed night. Please stay warm out there. All righty. God bless.